What's up, guys? So I am joined with my absolutely gorgeous wife, who is an amazing human being and just a sweetheart. I was thinking about it a little bit, and today I brought it up to her, presented the idea to her to see if she was cool with doing it. She said yes, of course. I just wanted to ask her just a couple questions, just to maybe reach out to some of those females out there that are maybe considering these things or thought these things, or maybe even help someone on a male side look at it and be able to relate to it or understand maybe where a female would be coming from. Nothing like too deep or anything like that, but just something that I thought about because we've been asked these questions before, and I just kind of wanted to just make a video about it. Did you want to say anything before I asked you your questions that I prompted you earlier so you had time to think?
Hi.
No? They say hi, baby. She wants to say hi.
Hi. I'm Queen Elsa, and I'm a doctor and Queen Elsa.
All right, go watch your videos, baby.
Cookie?
Yeah. So, the very first the second question has to do with what's this whole dynamic right now. The very first question. What is because it varies between people, what is your take on being a female in the military? I guess you could say more specifically the Army because you're in the Army, but if you can lump it as a whole for maybe someone that's thinking of joining like the Air Force or whatever, try and do so. Possibly.
I'll
be honest.
I'll do my best to lump it, I guess, but I can only give my experience. I guess the best thing I could say is that it would be a challenge. Only because, and this sounds weird, but you go into a branch as a girl, into a branch that's mostly men, and they expect you off the bat to not be able to meet their standards, or that you're just going to be emotional the whole time, or you're going to be sensitive about everything, and you're not going to complete anything, and if they try to give you criticism, you'll just cry about it. So, or they think like you're too mentally or physically weak. So you have to work twice as hard as them to earn respect from your superiors or from your peer group. You have to work twice as hard. You have to be a little bit more, in my opinion, stiff upper lip than the men have to be. Guys, they can stand in a group and complain about something, and then if a girl starts complaining, then everybody's like, oh, here she goes again. So you have to be a little bit more like stiff upper lipped and less open about what's bothering you, like no complaining, that type of stuff. But I would say that's the biggest one.
I guess to caveat that, being a female, being you in your situation, what is something that you've had to overcome because you feel that you're a female versus it would have been easier if you were a male? Of course, without like naming names or anything either.
I mean, the biggest thing I can say though is just getting the respect. Like, I showed up as this new kid straight out of basic training at this unit. Nobody, like, with my job, I was not needed there at all. And so everybody automatically was like, why are you even here? And I'm over here, like, I'm fresh out of basic. I literally have no idea. Like, I'm here because they told me I had to be. And then I got moved down to the company, so I work with, like, the higher-ups. And everybody automatically starts thinking negative things about that.
I'm sure you could fill in the blank.
Yeah. Insert blank here. But I had to earn my way down there. I did exceptional work. I worked harder than everybody else. Okay, that's not fair, but I worked harder than other people coming straight out of training with the private rank than they had seen. I was given a task to complete an inspection, and I was given 1 week when everybody else in the unit had 3 months to prepare. And
that was like your first week at the unit.
That was my very first week at the unit, and I was given 1 week to prepare everything. And records had been missing. Like, I had a book of records that I had to show, and the newest update at that point was 2016. I showed up at this unit in 2018. So I had to come up with 2 years that I hadn't existed at this unit and figure out where all their records were. and compile it all and whatnot, answer all the questions about what the unit's been doing over the past 2 years. And I was like, that's a good question. So I had to like try and figure all this stuff out in a week's time, and tooting my own horn here, but I did exceptional, and I earned a reward for that. And so I got to go down company, but everybody thought that it was for other insert blank here reasons why I got down there to company level, and they love to tell me about it. So I have to work twice as hard to keep their respect, and like to get help in the unit, I have to work twice as hard.
So the second question I have for you is, what is it like being a mom of 2? And what are some maybe tips or something, a couple, like maybe a quick little tip or something like that you can offer to someone, maybe not just a mom, but like mom or dad, whatever, a parent of 2, I should say, that fits the question I'm weirdly, haphazardly kind of like asking, because I guess I don't understand my own question right now. What's it like being a mom or a parent of 2? And then if you had like advice or something like that, what would it be to someone that maybe is having a hard time or not? And while she does that, I'm gonna go deal with her youngest because he's fussing if you can't hear him. Parents of 2.
What's it like? So everyone tells you it's a big jump from 1 to 2. I would concur. It is a big jump from 1 to 2. With 1, it's easy to get out of the house. You only have 1 kid to dress. You only have 1 kid to worry about bedtimes, bath time, etc. Playtime's only 1 kid you have to focus on. 2 is a big jump just because you're used to that single solid air. And then all of a sudden there's now 2 people who want your attention and 2 people asking for your help. Like it'll be playtime with her and then he's hungry. So then you have to kind of stop and go get him and whatnot, and she's not always happy about it.
What'd you forget about?
So I mean that's a big difference, like big jump or whatever. And then advice, I would say the biggest advice I could give is probably go easy on yourself. As moms, we like to be hard on ourselves and say that we're not doing enough, or we're not doing good enough, or it doesn't match Jody on Pinterest. But at the end of the day, as long as your kids are bathed, fed, clothed, and happy, that's all that matters. You just gotta do what's best for you and best for your kids, and just everything else is white noise. Would be my best advice.
Say, hi, Mama. Hi, YouTube. Okay. Well, there you go. And now, to relate both of those questions, what is it, or how is it, being a mother while being active duty? And then maybe what's one struggle and how you can overcome, or how you're trying to overcome it if you haven't already. And then maybe like what's one advice or like words of encouragement for maybe like a mom that's out there that's really hitting, like kind of to be transparent, how when I got out, we hit a rough patch and really just needed you to get in, or myself to try and get back in. I know there's other people out there that are like that in that situation, and it sucks. It does get better. What is something you would offer as advice to a mom that maybe has to go to basic training or whatever?
So what it's like as a mom in the military, it's a lot of work, only because you have to be up so early in the morning for formations, and you're gone all day long, and I'll get like text message updates from him, which have a 2-part to that, because it's great to have updates, but it also makes you bummed out because you look at him, you're like, oh, I'm not there, I'm missing everything.
Wow.
I like it.
You feel better?
But so it's like that, and then you come home and you're tired because you've been gone all day and you've been dealing with everybody and everything, and then the kids are right there, but I'm sure dads understand that, or working moms understand that, and so you're tired, and then you have to go to bed early because you have work the next day. So the hardest part is timing, like figuring out where to fit the kids in, where to fit naps in, balancing being the fun parent with being an actual parent. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. Advice to a parent. I'm gonna say parent going into the military for the first time. It's gonna be hard. There's gonna be a lot of times where you feel upset and like homesick, or they'll send you letters and then you just feel guilty. And you're gonna question whether or not this is good for them, this is good for you. But keep your goals in mind. For me, I wrote them down on a couple pieces of paper and I put them in my locker so that way I saw them every single morning I woke up to remind myself while I was there and what the goal was for. And then the other thing is, and this is just for me, while I was there, I tried not to think about them at home as much as possible. And that sounds weird to say I didn't think of them, but I kind of didn't, because I was like, okay, he's got them, he's good to go, they're at home, they're taken care of. My job solely here is just to focus on getting my training so I can get out of here so we can all be happy and healthy and have just the basic life necessities. So I chose to focus more on that than on how much I miss, well, at the time, her and him, and what I'm missing from her and everything like that. So I just chose to kind of do it that way. And I actually wrote him letters that said, hey, don't tell me these types of things. And I wrote down, like, don't write me about these. Keep a record of them so I can ask you for it later, but while I'm here, don't tell me. And I did the same thing to everybody in the family, like, don't tell me these things. And that way I could focus on what I needed to focus on instead of like crying because I'm missing something. So
I like how you change it from mom to parents, so that way it fits a better spectrum. That was smart.
I mean, dads have a hard time too. You know?
Yeah. I
Leaving
mean,
your kids isn't easy.
I got injured when I'm not all the way on the screen there, but I got injured when I was in, so I was lucky enough to not really have to go to any field ops or deployments when Bree was born. I was supposed to actually go on a 6-month rotation to Australia, and that was 10 days after Bree was born. And, you know, although part of me wishes I went, to say, you know, I went and deployed and was with my unit and stuff, I'm really happy I got to be there for my kid, because at the end of the day, like, for me, it's all about my family. I'm going to do what I need to do to provide for them. So it was interesting dynamic. So we got lucky that way. I'm very proud of her. She has gone through a lot, and honestly, looking back on it, I don't know. Part of the reason why I'm happy I got out, and I've considered going back in, but I don't think I'll actually ever do it unless we really need to, is I don't know if I'd be able to leave our kids. I mean, it was hard enough leaving her when I deployed, but at the end of the day, like we've talked about, your spouse understands it when you deploy. It's easier for them to get it versus when a kid's going, why is daddy leaving? Why is mommy leaving? When are they coming back? Are they going to be okay? You know what I mean? Like all those things. For me, I don't think I could do that. That's why I haven't re-enlisted. I know I've talked about it a couple times. I'm kind of blocking you out, sorry. But yeah, thank you for partaking in this. Just wanted to throw a little fun little thing together real quick. Plus, little man, so cute. Get on the camera, huh? Little buddy, you were smiling all over the place. Ba, 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 ba.
Camera time.
Yeah, always smiles. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. You love your mama, yes you do. So I hope some of this helped out any of you that are viewing this. If you have any other questions that maybe you want to ask her, you want to ask me, maybe we can do something where you write them in the comments below, or you tweet me them, or you hit me up on Instagram with them, or whatever, and we'll do another thing where we sit down if she's open to that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll sit down and we'll go through your questions and answer them, kind of like a Q&A kind of thing. Or if you're seeking advice or, you know, whatever, feel free to hit us up. So with that, I bid you all adieu. That was weird. I don't really ever say that. So that was weird for me to say.
I do though.
I know you do. So I just wanted to say thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this was helpful in some way, shape, or form, or you just got a kick out of me asking her somewhat deep but not deep questions, and then seeing little dude smile a bunch because he was smiling. Because you're cute. Yes, you are. All right. So if you haven't already, go hit me up on Twitter and Instagram. My links are down below in the description. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already to see more daily vlogs. I am almost on daily vlog 100. This one right here, as you saw just a little bit ago, it's 94. Wow, that's a lot, and it feels like just yesterday I started this. But also ring that notification bell to let you know when I get posted or when I post videos, and then yeah, I'll see you guys later.